Hey everyone, welcome to Life in the Valley. Hope all is well. Today's episode, I'm just going to take you for a wee wander here and talk to you about the unwritten rules of Crown land use. Hope you guys all enjoy. I actually grew up on the water, and around the whole lake was just thousands and thousands and thousands of acres of Crown land. So I grew up camping on Crown land and fishing and playing around, just doing all sorts of stuff. Ever since I could barely walk, playing on my four-wheelers and snowmobile and all that good stuff too. It's always fun to go in and go exploring in a new spot, find yourself a nice campsite on the side of a lake or whatever, and go fishing and just have a great time, or even go out on your four-wheeler for the day and just go explore. And it's loads and loads of fun. There's lots of stuff you can do: hunting, fishing, trapping, if you have that trap area, I guess. But lots of different stuff you guys can do on Crown. But along with going in and exploring and camping at all these beautiful places comes with some responsibility. Always make sure to check your local fire bans, respect all the local regulations and stuff like that, and just leave nothing but footprints and take nothing but pictures. So if you see somebody set up on an island or even a campsite on shore or something like that, it's always a good rule of thumb not to set up near them, anywhere near them. There's a whole lake you can go explore most of the time, or lots and lots of land. So always can go find a different spot to set up, stay away from people, and just give people their space. It's just respecting people and their space. They're out there trying to have fun just like you are. One thing that's really frustrating, and it frustrates a lot of people, I'm sure, is when you go into launch at a boat launch, even if you're at a back lake in the middle of nowhere, it always sucks when there's people set up right at the boat launch and blocking everything off and that, and then sometimes you can't even launch and they'll freak out at you. But I'll go ahead and kind of show you what I mean here. I don't know if you guys can see, but that is water down there. So say this is the boat launch, and then you have all this space up and around over here, and a little area there, type of stuff like that, where you could camp. Well, it's not really a good idea to camp there, because generally people will park their vehicles and stuff all in this area to go fishing or do whatever, go hunting, stuff like that. So when they come in and they can't get in, it kind of sucks. And most of the time people will move their stuff out of the way and stuff for you and apologize. But good rule of thumb, don't set up at a boat launch or near a boat launch. Even if there's a campfire pit, what a lot of people will do is they'll come in just on four-wheelers or whatever, enjoy the view for the day and have a little fire and stuff, and that's that. But if you go ahead and camp there, you can't get in. One thing that sucks too is when you get into a nice little back lake and you look around and everything's just all burnt up and all the trees are dead. It's all, generally what you want to do is, local areas will have different fire bans type of deal. Look up that area you're going to and make sure it doesn't have a fire ban or a fire restriction going on in the area. One good thing too, when you're setting up on Crown land, it's not maintained, right? So always want to make sure you look around and up in the trees and stuff. Make sure there's no widowmakers or anything like that. Dead standing trees that will come down type of deal. So that's always a good rule of thumb, because usually a couple people get injured or killed every year by falling trees and widowmakers and stuff like that while camping. So always look up. Well, a lot of families, they'll have camps and stuff like that on Crown land, on leased land, I guess we would call it. And they're just small little portions most of the time. But those families have hunted around that camp and on those lands for years and years and years. So if you're going to go in and hunt, good idea, go leave a note on that door of the camp in that area you're going to hunt, or try to talk to some local people and figure out where everyone is, because you don't want to go into the bush and end up messing up somebody's hunt or something along those lines. That's never good. From my personal experience, it kind of really sucks, but there's been a lot of traps and stuff like that set up on trails. I've came out to sharpen sticks leaned up against my tires. Earlier this summer, we came out, my brother-in-law's car door was just completely caved right in. Also, people came out to like keyed cars, stuff like that, smashed windows, just all sorts of stuff. So what I've been doing lately is leaving a trail cam. If we're leaving a car out by the side of the road or in the bush a bit, leave a trail cam on the car and leave my dash cam going in the truck, because it really sucks going way back in somewhere and then getting flat tire, not being able to get back out, having to call some friends or walk out to get service or whatever you have to do. Some of the other traps that I've heard of and been seeing is like spike strips across the road. They look like just a stick, but they're almost like floating a little bit. They'll be full of nails. Hooks at head height on fishing line, along with like wires across the trail and stuff. You really got to be careful. It's really unfortunate that these situations are happening, but it is what it is, I guess. Well, a lot of those little camps I talked about earlier too, they're starting to get broke into quite a bit. It really sucks. One guy I talked to, they actually broke into his camp off a small trout lake, and they stayed there. He said it looked for a week or so, and when he showed up, they told him that it was their camp and to get out of there. But after all that situation, he got back in his camp and all that, and anyway, they ransacked it and ate all his food and all that good stuff. Real unfortunate situation. Another guy I talked to, he's also a local camp owner. He was at his camp, and he seen some smoke up in the distance. He was like, oh, that's weird. So-and-so's camp's over there, so he went to investigate. But he was out there, he was burning all his stuff out of his camp because somebody went in there and just ransacked the whole camp, just sprayed ketchup and mustard and stuff all over everything, along with their own stuff. But just horrible situation. If you're looking for Crown land, there's something called the Crown Land Atlas. It's online. You can go on there, or you can get what's called BRMP map book. It's the backroad map book, sorry. It's the paper version of BRMB maps on the App Store. So if you're old school, you can buy yourself that book, and it'll show you all the different lakes, all the Crown, all the trails, canoe routes, everything in Ontario you could think of. I'm sure they're in different provinces and stuff like that too. And the app, I really enjoy it too. It works offline. You can see Crown, private land, every single trail you want. Canoe route, portage routes, you can track yourself type of deal too. So you can see your elevation, how far you've gone, and how fast your average speed was and stuff like that as well, which is really nice for trying to plan out trips and stuff like that. There's some other great apps out there like iHunter and a couple other ones as well. But the government app, it's called Fish Online. You can go on there and see all the different lakes and stuff like that as well. It's pretty handy to cross-reference with different stuff. But the thing with the government sites, it's the roads aren't always right and stuff like that. So you got to be really careful with that. Don't end up on somebody's land or something like that. Crown land can be an amazing experience. We never camp or anything in any sort of parks. We're always on Crown land. I enjoy it. That's where I grew up. That's what I enjoy doing. So we're going to keep doing it. But big thing is, do your research, all that good stuff. I generally stick to kind of my local area, and that's what I know the best. So works for me. But a little research definitely does go a long way. I can't really think of a whole lot of other stuff right now. If I forgot anything or you guys like to add anything, drop a comment down below. But I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Until next time, have yourselves a good one.